Welcome to Expert Mom. Thanks for joining us today, and we're just going to talk a little bit about teen depression. And Caleb is joining us. He's the pro at this.
I'm not a pro. I'm still going through it myself. I'm a mess when it happens.
Yes, but he definitely has advice. And I have not been the perfect parent in dealing with teen depression. And so, but I have learned some things along the way. And probably the first one is when the teenager is having a bad day and they are depressed, don't get mad at them. And that's probably my number one flaw.
Oh yeah. You need to learn not to get mad at them because they're already probably mad at themselves.
I just get mad. I don't know what it is inside of me. Is like, to me, I just think he should just snap out of it, and I don't understand it, and so I just kind of get mad, and so I have had to learn.
It's a learning experience.
It is, and it's very frustrating sometimes, but I've had to learn instead of getting mad, be compassionate and understanding. And I still, to this day, I'm just not understanding. But I try, I try to be more
It shows that you do
Yeah.
try. It's important for me because
Yeah.
it knows that that's honestly you're like still there. I don't care about
Right.
me.
So it doesn't help when I get mad.
Does
it
not.
probably makes it worse.
It does because if I am depressed, I'm already mad at myself. But I don't know if this is it for like everyone. But if I'm depressed, I'm mad at myself for something I did, something that's going on that I didn't even have contributed to. And so, like, if you get mad at me for, like, being mad at myself or depressed, in other words, I just sort of, like, go, oh.
It probably creates a deeper
It just goes,
depression.
It's like going down, but then you do that and it just goes plummets down.
So don't get mad when they are depressed. Another thing that really has been important, I think, for you is that I show love, and that I reach out and show love instead of avoiding. And I think sometimes avoidance might be tempting to do because I have felt like it's not going to help anyway, type of a thing. So just let him go through it. But what he actually needs is love, affection, and some of my time. So, he personally needs hugs. Not every kid needs hugs, but he needs physical touching. And I think everyone probably has that need, but they probably may push people off. But I think that might be a basic need that a lot of people have. But for us, it doesn't. I think for showing love, it could even just be hanging out on his bed and I'm looking at my social media, he's looking at his social media, and we're sharing things that we see, we laugh at what we see, and and so it doesn't necessarily have to be we're just sitting and talking. I think it, just us
being in each other's presences, knowing that like you can make time for me helps me like understand that you are still here and you still have time for me, because there are times when I go, wow, she's super busy with other kids that I sort of just like I don't get time to be with you.
Yeah, and I have younger kids which are so much more demanding and need more attention, right then and there. And so I really have to carve out that time of just hanging out and just, and so I think for you, when you're in a depressed state, I think that really helps probably, just hanging out a little bit. And yeah. Okay. Also for us, we've gotten help. So we've used therapy, and it's about 2 years, and huge difference. I feel it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What do you feel like you've gained from therapy?
I have definitely learned how to deal with stuff by myself when I am going through it. That's like if there's like a that's like smallest mood change for me, I know how to like handle it. I know how to like cope with it, I guess. I know how to like if I'm really sad, or just like if I'm just sad, like it's just a regular sadness, I know how to deal with it. And then if it's like a depression, I know that I know what to do to deal with it and how to like kill it at its source.
Right. Huge difference. But it has been extensive. So, but I have noticed within these 2 years a huge difference in the fact that he's able to just kind of, you take control pretty quickly. And it's just progressed where he has been able to take a hold of the issue at hand and deal with it through a process he's learned through therapy. So I do encourage that for families, just because it definitely has made a difference for us.
The way I see my depression, honestly, is sort of like a person who you didn't invite to the party, and so like, and it's like there's like a party in your brain, and right, and then this thing shows up, and then you don't want it there, and so like you sort of have to literally like forcefully push it out sometimes.
Interesting.
Instead of like other times when you're just like, yeah, I guess you can stay because you're like too embarrassed to do it. But like that's what depression sort of does. It sort of enters like this party in your head, and you just like, you can either let it stay there and like ruin everything, or you can like push it out and just like forcefully say, hey, you need to leave because like I'm having a good time, I feel good, I look good, so you need to leave.
Right. And you basically have to take authority over it. Yeah. And for me, if I was depressed, I would pray a lot because I would need the strength of God. Another thing is to try to understand the issue. And that has, for me, it has helped talking to other people and studying up more on depression so that I could understand depression more, so that I can understand where he's at. And so trying to understand the situation has been something that I've really worked on.
I did not know that. I didn't know you were doing like your own research.
Oh,
I thought you were just sort of going off me and going like, okay.
I did a lot of research on you, but no, I've talked to different people and gotten people that have been in depression and gotten feedback from them as well, and just trying to understand what it is has helped me as well. So do you have any advice for parents if they have a teenager out there that gets depressed? I mean, I think a parent oftentimes feels helpless, and we feel like we can't do anything. I mean, anything that we do, a lot of times it just doesn't seem to be effective. And so it's like just we feel out of control a lot of times as parents if we have a teenager that's depressed. So other than the few things we just talked about that have been big things for us, do you have any other advice for parents?
Yeah. Another one where I sometimes have like these little problems that like tend to like in my mind blow up into something that doesn't really need to be there. It's but don't brush those off. Definitely don't like see their little problem. Don't see their problems as little, but because to them it's like a big thing to them. Like they like something happened at school that like to you would seem minor, but to me it seemed like a huge thing that like I'm not worthy of anything.
Right. And that is so important. So as a parent, I've had to really watch myself when he is upset about something that to me is like, oh, that's absolutely ridiculous. I cannot say that to him. And boy, that is hard sometimes because it's like why would you go in depression over that, And so I've had to hold my tongue and make sure I don't belittle the fact that you're upset on something that to me it's not that big of a deal. It shouldn't be even an issue. And I think that's where therapy for you has come
Oh yeah.
into play, because you've changed in the fact that you don't make those little things into big things
Yeah.
anymore. You know, you're more rational, and so huge difference. You know, but anyway, so yeah, I like that. That's good advice, because that is something that I really had to work on. That I didn't belittle his whatever it was
His
that he
petty
was.
problems.
Yeah, and so very easy to do as a parent. So, all right, is that it, or?
I think so.
All right. So there's just a few things that we've done through this process, and just really just love your child, and just keep at it. Don't give up, and they're awesome. So thanks for joining us. Make sure you subscribe, be a part of the family, and just love those kids. Have a blessed day.